William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. You're going to sleep.
This is UMAR for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in New York City. It's about 4 AM. Joined by a very dapper looking, as always, Jessie Vargas.
Thank you very much. Well, I mean, it is pretty late, but you know, we were out having a late dinner. I mean, after a long night of boxing. I mean, Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz, McCallum versus Endom, Katie Taylor versus Person. What a night! What a night! I mean, just Matchroom put on a great show. Honestly, credit to them for putting on such a terrific showdown. A lot of unexpected turns. I mean, we had a unification fight with in the female division, and of course, I mean, it was a absolute war. We had wars, we had draws, we had knockout wins. Like, it was a terrific night of boxing, honestly speaking. And one unexpected turn, you know, for a lot of people, which was, you know, Andy Ruiz coming out victorious against Anthony Joshua. But a lot of people don't understand the talent that Andy Ruiz possesses, you know, and Anthony Joshua came prepared, but I think he literally not only overestimated Andy Ruiz, but he didn't think that he was going to be that fast. But a lot of fighters that face Andy Ruiz, you know, that's the same surprise that everyone takes in, is that the guy's velocity, you know, and his punches are just extremely high, you know, and besides that, of course, the power behind it, something else to add on. It was just it was unexpected for Anthony Joshua, but nothing taken away from Andy Ruiz, because Andy Ruiz performed in a way to do enough to come out victorious. More than enough, apparently, you know, coming out with the victory at the 7-round knockout. But we need to give respect to Anthony Joshua for not giving up. You know, he was dropped once in the 3rd round, twice in the 3rd round automatically. He just got, you know, the minute he dropped Andy Ruiz in the 3rd, you know, he felt he had it. You know, and that's when he got clipped and he got hit with a big right hand right over the top, you know, right on the ear. I know, because I was the commentator for the fight. And he survived the 3rd round. 4th round comes in, 5th round comes in. They were both very patient. They knew they had the power. And of course, 6th and 7th round came in. He was going for he was trying to hurt Andy Ruiz. You know, he took a gamble. Unfortunately for Anthony Joshua, he got connected with the hook. But keep in mind, if you go back and look at the replay, it was 2 hooks that were being landed, you know, from both sides at the same exact time. But Andy Ruiz was 1 second sooner than Anthony Joshua, and that's what put Anthony Joshua on the canvas in the 7th round. And, you know, after that, I don't think he was able to really get his, you know, to become composed once again. You know, he just lost his consciousness of what was really going on in the fight. Even though he got back up, he tried giving it his all, and with that 2nd knockdown in the 7th round, it was just too much. It was too much. I think the referee saw that.
Jesse, before the fight, we heard the likes of yourself and Canelo Alvarez really big up Andy Ruiz Jr. So for you guys, was it actually as much of a shock for sort of the British and the American public?
Definitely. I mean, it was
still a shock for you.
It was a surprise for us as well. Not only I mean, we didn't doubt him, but we knew he was up against, you know, the best fighter in the division. Put it like that. You know, the toughest task in the heavyweight division was Anthony Joshua, but Andy Ruiz, somehow he dug deep. I was able to interview him immediately after. He says, you know what, I asked God in every round to give me the fortitude, to give me the strength to come out victorious. Like, that has a lot to say about Andy Ruiz. You know, he really wanted it. You know, he said it before the fight. You know, I'll die in that ring if I have to, but I have to come out victorious. You know, it was just his willpower was just over the edge. You know, he believed in himself so much, you know, that even though he got dropped in the 3rd round, he came back stronger when he got back up. I wish I would, you know, it's tough for me because I know both fighters. You know, Anthony Joshua is just such a class act. You know, he's a fighter that is a gentleman inside the ring, such as outside the ring. But, you know, just an all-around gentleman. you know, but he fought his heart out himself. I've been knowing Andy Ruiz since 2007. We were in the same Mexican Olympic team, so I wish them both well, you know. But in boxing, one man has to win, and in this situation, this scenario, it was Andy Ruiz. Congratulations to him, big win, and he's on top of the division at the moment. He beat the guy at the top of the division. That makes him the top on the division. Now he needs to go in for the rematch against Anthony Joshua.
Jesse,
There's just so much to say. I'm sorry that.
No. You carry on, mate. You carry on.
But it's just there's a lot to say about the fight.
Yeah. We assume Joshua's going to call for that rematch.
Most definitely.
Be standard practice. If he goes and loses that rematch to Andy Ruiz, do you think he's done at the top level?
I think the rematch would be, a great, terrific fight. I'd love to see it anywhere. I mean, honestly, it could be done in the UK, it could be done in here in the US. In Mexico,
I think Eddie told me tonight that in the contract they said if there was going to be a rematch where Joshua lost tonight, it has to go to the UK.
There you go. Well, it's going back to the UK. It's going back to Anthony Joshua's home, and he's going to have an advantage there. But Andy Ruiz is a true talent. Once again, I'm going to repeat it. All right, just so that you don't have this clear. Anthony Joshua was at the top of the division. That's the way I saw it. And he was truly talented. You see any interview I said prior to this one, that's what I said. Now Andy Ruiz defeating Anthony Joshua, he's on top of the division, but the second fight, you just never know what can happen. You know, if Anthony Joshua was to win, I'd love to see a third one. You know, it's just in the heavyweight division, anything can happen. Mike Tyson proved it against Buster Douglas, or should I say Buster Douglas proved it against Mike Tyson.
Hasim
Rahman against Lennox Lewis. It's just the list goes on and on. You know, this is why we love the sport of boxing so much, because we just don't know what's going on. Even though one fighter could be winning the entire fight, one punch can change the outcome of the fight. So respect to both fighters. You know, I think that they deserve it, fighting their hearts out. I admire both athletes. They did extremely well. It's just it's just one fighter must win.
Jesse, do you like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and obviously Andy Ruiz Jr. himself now have a real claim to say they are the number one guy in the division?
Right now, Andy Ruiz has the claim to say he's the number one in the division.
Yeah,
because,
that's fair enough.
As I said prior to it, I thought Anthony Joshua was the top one in the division. Now, Andy Ruiz, with his mental fortitude, is able to, replace Anthony Joshua, which comes down to second or third, but until he proves otherwise. But Andy Ruiz is the one at the top of the division, and we look forward to seeing the rematch on the Zone and in the UK. Everyone knows Sky Sports. I'm here in the US, so I'd be watching it on the Zone, and I'm a commentator for it as well. So, I look forward to the rematch. It's going to be a great showdown. I know that I'm sure that Anthony Joshua wants to get his revenge. Even though you saw a gentleman up in the ring, no one likes to lose. So I'm looking forward to the rematch. I'm sure Andy Ruiz is going to come very well prepared. Anthony Joshua is going to want to take revenge. Boxing is at its peak at the moment. We're doing extremely well. And I'm looking to be one of those world champions that everyone enjoys to see.
Right, Jesse, let's talk a little bit about you. Since your win against Humberto Soto, have you sort of talked to Eddie about what's going on? We've heard you've been linked to sort of with Kell Brook and Liam Smith in terms of British fighters. And there's plenty of other fighters. What weight do you want to fight at as well? Do you want to carry on at 154?
For sure, most definitely. I'm staying at 154 pounds. I'm targeting to become a world champion at 154. I spoke to Eddie and expressed how much I am looking forward to becoming a world champion in this weight division, to make it a 3-division world champion. And Eddie is supporting me, thankfully, which I thank him for it. And we're trying to target just that. We have several options that can come into fruition. One being Jaime Munguia, who that's a fight that Eddie Hearn really likes.
J-Rock.
He also mentioned, hey, J-Rock, yes.
What did you make of his win?
I wanted to fight against Heard. I'm sure that a lot of people got to see some interviews where I was calling him out, but unfortunately he lost the fight in a great one. But J-Rock is on top of it now. He has 3 belts, if I'm correct. So I'd love for that to happen if it's possible. So now we just gotta speak with Eddie and see which one he would prefer. I know that there's a couple English fighters out there as well. Liam Smith, I actually saw him at the weigh-in. He's very enthused about him and I fighting.
Oh yeah?
Yes. And then Kell Brook is another fighter that I haven't heard back when it comes to him and I fighting, because I've expressed my emotions on how I'm interested in that fight, and the fans actually gravitated towards that, towards me being outspoken about that fight. But I haven't heard anything back. So Liam Smith seems like he wants it. Maybe we can make that fight happen. And if not, then my number one priority though is becoming a 3 Division 1 champion, and Jaime Munguia has one of the titles. J-Rock has the other. The others are booked. So we'll see what we can make happen. But I hope that Sky Sports is able to televise the fight in the UK and the Zone here in the US, of course, and in Italy. So we're doing good. We're doing extremely well. I want to be one of the fighters that's at the top of the division. Not only that, but that has, is at the top on the Zone. You know what I mean? I want to be the top fighter. I am one of the top fighters, but I want to be the top fighter that's displaying their abilities on the Zone.
Well, that being said, if you were to fight Kell Brook or Liam Smith, would you travel to the UK? If you want to be a top fight on the Zone, probably better fight in prime time here in America.
I'd be willing to travel anywhere. You know what? I have a great promoter, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, and I'll speak with him, see what he feels would be the best move for me. If he thinks that a fight in the UK would sell out, why not? I'd love to experience the atmosphere in the UK. I've heard great things. I'll make sure they play Sweet Caroline out there as well if that fight is done. I've heard great things about the atmosphere, the energy. So if any fighter in the UK would like to, confirm a fight with me, we'll make it happen. But Liam Smith is one of the fighters from the UK that is very enthused about making the fight with him and I.
In terms of Kell
Brook
Brook
isn't really interested, it seems like.
Really?
To me, it seems.
Why,
like.
has he said anything?
That's exactly why he's not said anything.
He's not said anything.
No.
Okay.
But maybe he's occupied. I don't know what it is, but Liam Smith, I know, is very interested, and if the fight fans in the UK are interested in watching that fight, then we can make it happen. I
think Kell actually wanted that Terence Crawford fight, and he wants to stay at 147 pounds, I think. So maybe that's out the window for you.
Yeah, I'm not jumping back down to 147. I'm staying at 154. 3 Division World Champion is my goal, and looking forward to it. But looking forward to giving my fight fans just the best of my ability. Just give them nonstop action. And I appreciate all the support from all my UK fans, all the fans out here in the US. I can't thank you all enough. And I hope that you enjoy each and every one of my fights that are upcoming. 2019 is going to be a tremendous year, and 2020 even better. And I'm going to be at the top of my game.
Jessie Vargas, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully you can make the Liam Smith fight.
Always a pleasure. If that's the fight you want, then we'll make it happen. But like I said, we'll speak to Eddie Hearn and see what we can make.
Top man, thank you.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. We're going to sleep.